The second source is the AVAT, African Vaccine Acquisition Task Team, led by the African Union. The chair is the president of South Africa, who have pulled together resources guaranteed by Afrexim Bank to get enough vaccines to cover Africa in a whole of continent approach, so that no country on the continent will be left behind and not be able to vaccinate its citizens. And they give this loan that you can pay back within 5 to 7 years. Nigeria has already opened her account with Afrexim Bank, and we have already nominated someone who is taking part in the negotiations for the strategy of going forward and making payments. We are also in bilateral discussions. The government of India has offered us 100,000 units of their vaccine made from the Serum Institute of India. And the Russians have offered us also 100,000 vaccines. We do not know whether we are paying for it or whether it is free. We haven't been told yet. But we are also receiving support from MTN that has offered us up to over 1 million doses. And then the support of, as far as financing is concerned, we are hoping to get support from the UN agencies who are creating a single basket fund. We are working on a supplementary budget of the federal government. We have been talking with CACOVID, that's a coalition against COVID-19 of the private sector in Nigeria, who have been very generous. They have supported us all along the way. And also looking at using residual funds, unspent funds from various World Bank loans that Nigeria has been using in the health sector. Now, the strategy for the rollout will be discussed by MPACDA very soon. Now, let me say here that government has been extremely generous and responsive in all of this. Right from the beginning, they provided all the resources that were required. Right from the first day, they asked, how much do you want? And NCDC was given a grant. Port Health Services was given a grant. And since then, they have provided everything. As I've said just now, government has provided one ICU unit, one isolation unit, oxygen plants, and any other thing that other countries, that we have required in the health sector have been provided per state. So we are very well supplied, and we have had no distress from that area.
What we are doing track and trace, because falsified vaccines are already in the global market, falsified COVID vaccines. So what we did, and we have been training for this for about 2.5 years in NAFDAC. Traceability is a GS1, it's a global standard-driven track and trace to make sure that there is no infiltration of substandard vaccines in the supply chain. When the AstraZeneca vaccine arrived 2 days ago, our port inspection had to check it in. This is our routine, and we use a software called PIDCAMS that was developed by one of our staff. But it is not just the port inspection checking in, then we have to scan each of the boxes. But before we did the scanning, we requested for what is called master data from Serum Institute, so that we know that this batch 1 or batch 2, batch 3, if it goes to local government 1, 2, 3, we can trace from the airport, the cold store of MPHCDA, we can trace that vaccine to the patient. So we are using track and trace, and then NAFDAC is the Center for Pharmacovigilance in Nigeria. What is pharmacovigilance? It's safety monitoring of any medicine we take. But we were also preparing for this time, because before we used to use the yellow form to fill side effects, adverse reactions, but now we have what is called Med Safety App. It is an app that more than 50 million people can download free. If you go to Google Store or App Store, you can download it. Med Safety app. Once you download it, it will tell you, it will take you through the steps. So it is for healthcare workers and educated consumers. So if you get the vaccine next week, for example, you have the Med Safety app, you will enter your name, and of course, first of all, it is customized for Nigeria. There are many countries that use it. Nigeria is one of them. You click Nigeria, and it will take you through how to register. So if you have fever or soreness in your arm or whatever, you put it down there. And it will automatically be transferred to us, NAFDAC, and then we will gather that information. It will go to Uppsala, Sweden. Why is this so important? It is important because, first, this has not been done, this COVID vaccine has not been used in a large population of sub-Saharan Africans. Pfizer has had 10% of African Americans in their phase 3 clinical trials. So it is important to see the uniqueness of our own response to the vaccine. So we're going to be using the Med Safety app. We're going to be doing it. We're going to be presenting it on NAFDAC and Your Health. We are putting it on different platforms. Many healthcare workers are being trained as we speak. So that is part of what we're going to be doing.
Difficult period at the moment. So it might be that there's an alternative explanation. It might be that we have actually delivered a fairly strong response in Nigeria. And so I'll end by saying that this is actually a moment for health security. In 2004-05, after the SARS outbreak, China started the establishment of the China CDC. It is now an institution of 5,000 people working every day very hard to protect those people. After the 2014-15 Ebola outbreak here in West Africa, we saw the establishment of the Africa CDC. And if there's any highlight of the response on the continent, it's been the collaborative effort of all African countries. The Honorable Minister just mentioned the efforts being led on by ACDC in enabling access to Africans for vaccines. Unlike many other continents, all the other continents, Africa has actually worked together. You haven't heard about nationalism in Africa as a theme. That's because of the robust response by the Africa CDC. This is a moment for Nigeria. And with the efforts of Mr. President, the Presidential Task Force, and of course the commitment of the Honorable Minister, we will build on what has happened in the last year and make sure that not only do we complete this response, but we'll also leave our country stronger and better prepared for the future. Thank you.